We did it.
You open up my scars. Why do you do this? Right in the moment, couldn't see your behavior was toxic for me. Eternal optimist, I'll make the best of it. Couldn't see your behavior was toxic for me.
broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go. I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday. Harder, harder. I fell where my demons dwell. My own little nightmare, I call it hell. Oh well, it's time to get back up. Climbing and climbing, I'm done with this ride, is what I tell myself, so I could feel something else. Yeah, I guess I had my bad days, but it doesn't mean I lost my style. Darling, where were you when my heart was on the ground? I thought time would prove that you would stick around. I guess time stood still, a king without his crown. Now I'm breaking, you're faking, girl. You never made a sound. Oh, wait, I'm tired feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know, you make me feel like I'm losing control. I've never been so high, and just so you know.
Won't you take me home? Give me wings to fly. We can run away. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky. Castle in the sky.
Hello. Hello, everybody out there. We are coming from Olympia, Washington, I think. You might just see that. Yeah, oh, wow, we're already doing entrance videos. Here we go. We're going to do some chess. These are some entrance videos. There's Van, already drinking at the bar. Already entered.
That brain juice flowing.
And Joe coming out of perhaps a fridge? I don't even know.
Was Joe in the walk-in? Did Joe go in the walk-in?
Does Joe live in the walk-in? I'm not even sure. Anyway, I'm Funk. We got Doug here. This is Olympia Chess Blunders, Season 2, Week 5. We're past the halfway point. 3 games tonight across 3 different divisions. And we're getting set up, and oh yeah, literally starting right now, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Okay, not literally starting right now. We're almost starting right now with Van versus Joe. Van playing the white pieces, Joe on black. Yeah, it should be fun. This is a Division 4 game. Oh, we got, yeah, you can see, there's the standings.
Oh, nice collegial handshake to get going.
Yeah, we do it proper around here.
Oh, this is week 6. Time is
Oh,
flying.
week 6, yes. Which is what that's what I meant. Even though it said week 5 for a second, it was a test.
Rounding down
Yeah.
a little bit.
Okay, here we go. We got King's Pawn opening. Yeah, like I said, Division 4. Kelsey, undefeated, but did finally take a draw in first place. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to catch Kelsey, but still bragging rights on the line for a lot of these players.
Forever since I
Want
played.
to finish as high as you can.
I'm expecting a pretty competitive game here. Van's game has been picking up, and Joe's been on a couple times, and I've liked what I've seen from my amateur eyes. But seeing some improvement in both of these players, so this is gonna be fun.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
With your piece.
Yeah, I think lately Joe's been playing pretty well from the games I've seen as well.
Well, and then when I play on my iPad, I don't have the
Yeah,
controller
we got some
on.
got some pawn takes out of the game. We got kind of a mirror
swapsies.
game going on
I
here.
will just do whatever you do for the whole game. How about that? What could
Joe
possibly go
stating,
wrong?
I think that he's going to mirror everything that Van does. We'll see how long that holds up.
That's one way to get a draw.
Let's see. Yeah. So, this being the second half of the season, each player is playing each other twice. Once with each color,
Yeah, I have no
starting
idea
with
what I'm
each
doing.
player starting with
Joe,
white.
pink is the hardest part.
So, I believe Van and Joe played with Joe on the white pieces, and I think Joe won that game. So Van maybe could be looking out for some retribution here.
Oh yeah, a little payback with the starting pieces advantage.
And so we'll see. Joe, if the mirroring continues, D6, but will he? I think he's going to move the knight, though. It looks like he's going to move the
I'm
knight.
getting bloody.
So, Doug, it sounded like you were thinking,
Let's make it.
you're saying Van was upcoming. Is your money on Van for this game, then? Or you think Joe's got the advantage here?
You can take mine and I'll take yours. And then
Well, I like what the computer says now, so sure. The computer saying Van.
Oh, if I want to do that.
You're with the Van this whole way, right?
I mean, obviously, yeah. that
I
would be
think
the-
I'm going to pick Van for a little bit of an upset.
I mean, right now, all four of those guys are now stuck. Right? If we break this down
Yeah.
in any way, then one of us is going to lose a piece.
Yeah, I guess I have to take it.
Yeah.
Sounds like Joe is almost using some kind of psychological pressure
Okay.
to get Van to do what he wants.
Always take advice from your opponent. That's a good way to learn about trust.
That's what the Grandmaster say, I think. All right, so Van.
Still mirrored.
Yeah. As you can see, if you're new to the stream, we play on chess.com. The little bar on the left gives you an indication of who the computer thinks is doing better. So the white bar being quite a bit bigger, the computer sees white as having an advantage. I think probably right now, just a queen h5 check looks really good. That's hard to defend. Van pushes the pawn, though. Gives Joe a little opportunity to defend, I think.
Yep. Is he trying to get Van? Maybe trying to get some pieces activated here and make it a game.
Really unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And here comes Joe, brings out the bishop. I think maybe Van, I think might be also looking at bringing out the bishop to g5 to attack the queen. Queen doesn't have really anywhere to go right now. Joe would have to probably block with his bishop just to save his queen, and could be a move that Van tries. We'll see.
Yeah, that's a vulnerable queen sitting there.
Yeah, I think that queen h5 check is still pretty powerful as well. So
I see the tides have turned. Now you are doing everything I do.
all right, yeah. So we a little quick introduction today, but we're coming Olympia, Washington, 3 Magnus Brewing. These are live games. They are being entered on the chess.com app, and normally the league does 30-minute time controls, but we had a few extra minutes, so you might have seen them start with 35 minutes. So plenty of time for the average game. But we do see some games getting into some time trouble sometimes in this league. So
Yeah, interesting. You should mention.
Joe has a mate in 1. I think he sees it. And we might we have it. There goes my
I
money.
see what you did there.
Quick game. Wow.
So that's
Joe
Yeah,
sneakily putting the pressure on an F2 square.
That was bad.
Quick mate.
Wow.
That's how it goes sometimes, though,
Over.
folks.
And then when I moved that guy,
Just
I
a
was
really
like,
good
I don't think
aggressive
that's
setup
good.
and just brought it home.
Yeah.
happens.
Might have been. I'm thinking maybe the distraction tactics might have worked
Okay,
a little
my
bit from
rating
Joe
will drop
there.
below
A
100.
little bit of talk. A little bit of talk. Got it going.
I think we try and get a beat on what they're drinking. We didn't even get to that stage. Maybe we can get that in the post-game interview.
Yeah, they're both drinking some of the fine Three Magnets beer, but we're gonna have to find out what.
Exactly. All right. I don't even know if our interview station is set up. We'll see about that.
Kelsey should be here in about 10 minutes, and we might make her play the child. She doesn't know yet.
Oh, we might be getting a bonus game. Look at this.
Bonus game.
Joe perhaps gifting the entire audience a bonus game with such a quick victory.
Yeah, 3 minutes in, less than 3 minutes in there. So you've commentated quite a few live games. I know that the non-live games, the 3 minutes, I've won on some timeouts, and I've come real close. I'm guessing it doesn't really happen that much with the extra 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think we've gotten close. I don't know if we've had one. Let's see. I think we're trying to get our mics set up here.
Get an interview here. Yeah, but timeout was not an issue today on this one.
No, Blunders R Us is here and ready for my interview.
There you go. Everybody, yes, ready for interview.
Okay, here's the problem. I was looking at the physical board, and I was just telling Joe this. I was looking at the physical board, and I was not looking at my phone, and it absolutely screwed me over.
Oh, okay. So you're saying the actual physical game might have been what was your downfall?
Oh, 100%.
Ah, interesting.
'Cause if I'm playing on the phone, I was trying to do a new thing where I'm like, oh, I'm playing in person. I'm gonna not stare at my phone the whole time. But no, I should have been staring at my phone because I missed half the things that were happening.
It's a different beast playing across the table. It's a whole new perspective, you know. It takes some time to get used to.
Yeah, but no, he worked his game plan and he did well. So I 100% deserved that loss. But it's like I say on this interview most of the time, it's a learning experience.
Yeah. We heard some of the talk early on. You know, you guys were referencing that it was kind of mirrored for a while. And it sounded like you came to some agreements about some moves with Joe. Do you think that was a ploy by him to set you up, maybe?
I'm not going to give him that much credit, no. No.
So, Doug, did you have some questions about this very fast but interesting game we just watched?
A comment and this is kind of an unrelated question, but a comment is, it seemed like you ended up like really nicely and it had some openings to attack the queen. And then Joe just kind of snuck in there. So just that comment. I do have a question. What beer were you drinking?
Oh,
it looked pretty
I'm not
darn
drinking
good.
a beer. I'm drinking a cider.
Cider, okay.
Yeah, it's the Red Cap cider.
There you go. Normally we get the beer selection during the game, but we have to wrap this up and post interviews this time.
No, I was like, it's like something lighter. I'm only having one, so.
Yeah. So Ben, you've done. I do have a question connected now. So you've done a few of these live games. Do you feel like a kind of helps kind of chill with the kind of take the nerves off, or what do you recommend?
Oh, I like playing the
Well, what
live
works for
games.
you?
I like playing in person. Obviously, I focused on the wrong thing today, but they're fun, and you get to meet people. People you maybe wouldn't meet in real life, and just hang out. But I don't feel pressure on the live stream. I think some people might get nervous playing on here, but I do not.
Cool. So it's fun to watch. It's always fun to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I'll send Joe over here and get the winner perspective.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, bye guys. There you go.
Hello.
Joe, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm still undefeated on stream. So like,
Oh yeah.
On stream, I look like I really know what I'm
We need a statistician, I think, to get these figures together. So it looks like you're kind of. Was it the intention to kind of mirror Van's play there? Did it turn out that way that you just wanted to play that opening anyway? What was your initial thought, your initial plan?
I had none. I was just kind of in the moment. Anytime I'm black, I feel like that's that's what you do. You wait for white to make a move, and then you try to figure out how you can do it. And then we got to the point of trading the king or the knights, the little horsies. We got to the point of trading, and we had a real discussion about like whether or not we were going to make it a bloody game, and then we did, and that was fun. There's still there wasn't like, it wasn't like I was like, aha, except that I noticed that I could try it. And so I thought I would try it. And then,
so a little bit spur of the moment kind of plan. It kind of came together.
My chess game is all about vibes. So like, it felt fun to do, and it may not have worked, but it would have been fun even not working. So I figured it was worth a go, and it worked. So life's good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We got Doug here as well. Doug, any
Doug.
questions for Victor, Joe?
Yeah. So Joe, you came out of the walk-in freezer or fridge. Was this because you were just feeling chill, or you were just going to be cold-blooded and get that win in 3 minutes?
So
how was that?
I got asked
or
not
was
to
that
talk
just
about
a
this on stream,
coincidence?
but you know what? I'm on stream right now, so I'm going to talk about it. I was in there for 3 hours. Ashley was like, "Can I talk to you real quick?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I was in there, and that was like 2:00 today. And then I got sort of released to play chess, and I think after this I'm gonna have to go back in. So
Okay.
that's gonna be
Starting you for the
awkward.
next game. Yeah.
I probably should
cool
run.
off after that hot win.
Awesome.
well
Well,
played.
congratulations. One final question before you go too. We didn't
Yeah.
get a chance during the game to ask. What were you drinking today?
Oh, today I got kombucha because I haven't had dinner yet, and I didn't want to have alcohol until I'd had some food. So
There you go.
kombucha. And
Wise
then
choice.
I'm
Wise
gonna,
choice.
I'm gonna get a burger and then maybe a beer. I don't know. We'll
Sounds
see.
great.
So.
And yeah, if any of that sounds good, people can come down to Three Magnets Brewing in
Oh,
Olympia.
this is a fantastic
Get the same
place.
things.
Food truck. Yeah, fantastic burgers and fries.
So-
Akashic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all delicious. It's great. Everybody should be here, except honestly, maybe not everybody, because I like how chill it is. And if everybody was here, it'd get very packed.
A respectable amount of people should come down.
Yeah, a certain number of people, and you know who you are.
Awesome. Well, stay warm inside that freezer, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you again on stream soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Bye.
Congratulations again. I believe we are going to take a little intermission so we can set up our next games. So stay tuned, and we will be back for game 2 here at LP Blunders Chess.
Tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. You don't know what you're expecting of me, but under the pressure, I'm walking in your shoes. Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. And every step that I take is another mistake to you. I become so numb, I can't feel you there. I become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming there. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. Can't you see that you're smothering me? You're holding too tightly, afraid to lose control. 'Cause everything that you thought I would be is falling apart right in front of you. Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. And every second I waste is more than I can take. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. I become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming there. All I want to do My bones are shaking, my lungs vibrating, my body is ready now. My mind is healing, the silence can't reach me now. Can't reach me now.
Do you want clear cut or no? Like, do you want to be able to edit it at all or no? Okay, we're fucking hang on.
Take me out, 'cause I don't really care. Go ahead and take it all.
We're doing the promo again.
I don't want
What? Come on, I look good in the club.
You can break me down and take me out, 'cause I don't really care. Go ahead and take it all. It's moving like the wind. I can feel it on my skin.
Hey, Ashley, thanks for checking in here at 3 Max. We got a chess game going on today.
I see it in the sky. I feel it start to rise. Start to rise. Emotions are fleeting, the tension is leaving. I'm standing on my own and breathing. I don't really care what it's gonna cost. You can break me down and take me out, 'cause I don't really care. Go ahead and take it all.
Wait, what the fuck?
It's moving like the wind. I could feel it on my skin. Ooh, I see it in the sky. I feel it start to rise. I feel it, I feel it. I feel it, I feel it. I feel it, I feel it. I feel it start to I can feel it start to rise. I can feel it start to rise. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I can feel it start to rise. It's moving like the wind. I can feel it on my skin.
Chess game going on.
just walk right out the door. Don't wanna do this anymore. Now I'm lost without you. You drive me crazy out my mind. How'd you do this every time? Now I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep. Now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done, I'll be when you're home, always hanging by your phone. Do I even know you? And I get paranoid sometimes, 'cause I know that you're mine, and I'm lost without you. Used to be the one I talk to when I'm sad. Can't you see now tainted love is all we have? Our issues run so deep. Now when I try to sleep I feel so bad. I should leave, and by the time it's done I'll be
wish they escaped the unknown. Suddenly you're looking for a way inside my head. Don't know how to say it, but there's nothing of me left. Try all you want, baby, you can be my guest. You can be my guest. Don't look back, you're almost at the heart of me, heart of me. Just a little part of me.
I guess we have to talk again.
Like amongst ourselves. Hello, I think.
I think. We're
Yes,
not
welcome. Welcome, we're back.
and we're back.
We knew that, and we were ready. And we're back for game 2 of Olympia Chess Blunders. We're on week 6, getting close to the end here. And Division 1, top division, is game 2. We got Kyle and John getting ready to square off. And I think we're going to do their entrance vids. And I think we're headed to the bathroom.
Oh, boy. Okay. I'm glad we started from outside the boat.
Oh, but okay. Whew.
Oh.
Hand holding, sure. Swinging, arms dancing, prancing. They're leaving the building. Okay, that's the opposite of an entrance vid, but
it's an exit vid. Okay.
Hey, Ashley, thanks for checking in here at 3 Mags. We got the chess game going on today, every Thursday. I don't know what time it starts, but you can check the schedule. It's a different time every day. No, just kidding. It's the same time every week. 3 Mags, we got everything going on here. Chess time. Akashic Food Trailer. You're not gonna believe it. Best Indian fusion in town. I shit you not. I shit you not. We got my buddy Kyle here. He's a big fan of our self-care NA beer. Tell him a little about the beer. This is the Super. Yeah, so that's a Super Ghost, and that is great. Check it out. Best leaded and unleaded beer in town. Shit you not. 3 Mags beer.
there you go. We're talking from 3 magnets.
He's not joking.
Yeah.
The best NA beer. He's got that right.
Did you hear what beer that was, Doug?
That was a Super
That's
Ghost.
the Super Ghost, Doug.
He shitted us not.
Okay, we're going to get game 2 started here. The players have come back into the building after their brief exit, and they are now playing. We got Kyle, white pieces, John, black pieces. This again, week 6. This is a rematch again. Kyle won playing the black pieces in a little bit of an upset sneaky. He got a little sneaky mate. I believe that was on stream too. So yeah, go back and find that stream if it's still available. That was a great match.
You're not talking about their entrance, are you? Because that was a sneaky mate also.
Yeah, those sneaky mates coming out of the bathroom together.
Coming out of the bathroom.
It's always safest to go to the bathroom in pairs, you know.
Right.
So
that's why we don't go alone.
Just they're being safe. That's all.
Yes.
So yeah, we got John probably looking for some retribution, I'm guessing here. Both of them, you can see this. We got the Division 1 standings up now. 6th place, I believe, going to the playoffs. The top 6 are guaranteed top bracket playoff spots, and I think there's going to be one more spot up to grabs in a relegation match. So that 6th spot is a very important cutoff spot. Kyle could definitely help himself with some points here if he can pull out a win today.
I think we got to see, was Victor last week or the week before? Really, really solid, super fun guy to hang out with too.
Oh yeah, Victor. Yeah, 12 points in the stands. He beat me. He sacrificed a piece, and I couldn't keep up. He's so anybody in this top division, I think, can beat any other person. There's you see a spread in the standings, but it is a very competitive league.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count anybody out.
Right on Kyle's heels too. He's probably watching this with interest.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we looks like John kind of trying to take a little bit of control of the center if he can, it looks like. Kyle's is kind of turning into a kind of transposed Carol Khan almost, but Kyle not taking the C pawn yet, no accepted gambit there, but we'll see if they decide to kind of clog up the middle or make it a more open game. It's still early.
Got quite a wall going there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if John kind of pushes that C pawn, it can kind of lock down the middle a lot. He probably, I don't think, just doesn't seem like John's style of play to me. I think he'll probably actually just keep it there, which keeps a lot of tension right in the middle on that D4 square. It's probably more advantageous for him to kind of keep that center pressure just like viable for a while he develops his other pieces. Yeah, we got both players looking at their phones a little bit. Maybe learned a lesson from Van.
As Van mentioned, I think you get used to looking at the phone and then you try to change it up. That can shift your game.
Yeah, for sure. Although I kind of like going back and forth. I do feel like there's things I can see better on the board sometimes, like the physical board sometimes, than on the app. So it's kind of with the live board option, it's kind of nice to be able to go back and forth, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, there goes the first pawn down.
Yeah, so John takes. I suspect we'll see Kyle probably take back with that C pawn. John maybe trying to open up Kyle's queen side a little bit here, but no big risks yet. Still pretty even game.
Yeah, you called it. Kyle took with that C-file pawn.
Yeah, I wonder if John's kingside minor pieces don't have like a lot of great options, so I wonder if we'll see maybe like a fianchetto here. See if he builds himself a little fortress for his king. Could be aggressive, maybe bring out the queen, but
I saw a little banter. They're turned away from the microphone, so I don't know what they're saying, but there's a little bit of chatter happening.
Yeah, we do have Kyle. We don't even need to ask him. He relayed that in our little promo there. That was the Super Goza Self-Care non-alcoholic beer. Very tasty. One of my favorite, actually, self-care beers, I'd have to say.
It's definitely got a tang to it. For a non-alcoholic beer, it's got that kind of taste to it.
I'm a bit of a sour beer head, so yeah, it's a great one to go with. Yeah, John brings the knight. Yeah, I would expect maybe a fianchetto, unless Kyle kind of disrupts it. But Kyle probably, I'm guessing, probably brings out his light-colored bishop, continued development, probably see some castles coming up from the players, I'm guessing.
So for us newbies, what would we expect from a fianchetto? Was that
Fianchetto is where you move the you move either the B or the F pawn up, and then whichever bishop on that side of the board, you move it into that square that the pawn was on. So yeah, that's a fianchetto. It creates, a little, usually you're doing it as create some room for your king to castle behind. It also puts your bishop on the longest diagonal on the board, which can afford you a little control, depending on how the full board is laid out. But a bishop is more effective the more squares it can reach, so.
Could sneak in and zap from the corners.
Mm-hmm.
From the sides, yeah.
Yeah, but Kyle brings out his bishop, and John kicks it with the H-pawn. We'll see if Kyle retreats back the way it came, or maybe over to the H-file.
What do you recommend? It's kind of nice having this kind of thing wouldn't work against a player as sophisticated as Bishop, but having that bishop, having your bishop on the side there, sometimes a weaker player might not even see it and sneak them in.
Yeah, I do think that, that's a risk, I think, even at high levels of play. Sometimes you miss those bishops that are just attacking across the board. So always a good idea if you got time before your moves, make a good survey, figure out what's attacking what. Because, those can be sneaky.
Yeah, yep.
We'll see. Yeah. Personally, if I was Kyle, I'd probably pull the bishop back maybe to e3. Oh, he trades.
Oh,
okay.
He goes aggressive. Wow.
Yeah. Gets rid of that knight. All right. Maybe might see Kyle going for try and trade down more. Maybe.
Got a little conclave going on here. 3 bishops having a little conclave.
They're going to elect a new bishop or something over there, I guess. I don't know. Is that how that works?
I think that's how it works.
Is there some color of smoke, I think, comes out of the board at this point?
That's right, and it was that white smoke just went into the air after that move.
Okay, so we got ourselves a trade. Let's see what Kyle does next. Probably needs to, like I said, keep developing. Brings out the other bishop, attacks the knight. We'll see if he takes that.
Get with the trading. Bishop, as his name implies, though, he likes those bishops. Taking his knights is not a huge advantage, I think, for Kyle for those trades.
Yeah, John's pretty good about adapting. I think he does favor his bishops a little bit more, but knights, bishops, I think he'll play a good game either way. Kyle, see if he continues the trend. There you go.
Wow.
Kyle is going to try and simplify the board here.
This is a tariff-free free trade zone here. Lots of trading happening.
Perhaps Kyle just has an intense hatred of horses. might not be anything to do with John at all.
Get those horses off the board.
All right, Kyle, probably castle here, I'm guessing. Could bring out the knight too. I think those are probably the two most obvious options he's got. Yep, castle. John, I'm guessing, is going to castle as well.
A little white castle action, which reminds me of a Kashik, which has better burgers than White Castle any day.
Yeah, Indian fusion out front.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear in the promo, that's what Frank was referring to there.
Yeah.
Good food.
Good food. I know that's kind of a stretch to tie that in, but I had to do it somehow.
For the chess.
Kyle's intervals might be kicking in here.
The Super Goes, which is like a Gatorade but non-alcoholic.
There you go. It is
I'm
indeed the Super
drinking a
Ghost
fine
still.
Emerald City
Like
IPA.
There you go. There's the drinks.
I missed it. What did John have?
It was.
Do I need to do that again? I'm drinking a fine Emerald City IPA.
Emerald City IPA.
Nice.
Is that from Seattle? Is he drinking a? Is that a Seattle beer? It's made in Olympia. It's called the Emerald City IPA.
Great.
Really confusing. That's okay. Still good beer.
I'm assuming it's like in the style of an Emerald City IPA.
I'll be there Thursday.
But what is an Emerald City IPA?
Are you asking? I believe the producer is asking us what it is.
I'm just wondering, does that mean it's made in the style of a standard Emerald City IPA? And if yes, what even is that?
Oh, I don't know. That seems like a very hyper-specific brewing style.
There are Northwest IPAs, there's New England IPAs, but I don't know if there's an Emerald City IPA.
Yeah. If you're watching the stream and you have extreme beer knowledge, let us know about the stylings of an Emerald City style beer.
You know, Bishop has still not castled. He might not now he's got that plan. What do you think?
I think he will eventually. It looks like he just put some priority on kind of attacking Kyle's queen side right now. He's putting pressure. Put pressure on that B pawn. Now he's lined up his bishop behind his. He's lined up his rook behind his bishop. Maybe looking at a discover attack on the queen. Kyle got to be careful here. I think John's got a little bit of the front foot at the moment, but
computer agrees. Yeah.
Nothing devastating. You just got to be careful.
Yeah, Kyle's a little bit on his heels here.
I think this is where we might see those bishops are a little more mobile now than Kyle's knights, at least as the board is right now. John has an opportunity to now take that B pawn. We'll see if he does that.
What do you think of those bishops? So seeing Ranger's comment, those bishops are paired up back there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that setup? Is that, I mean, it seems like you're kind of in the center there. You have to go diagonal out to attack.
Yeah, it's just they cover a lot of ground on this board, right? You can see like each one has 3 squares in front of it that's really, really in control of. Kyle's knights, on the other hand, you know, the one on the king side maybe has one, they can move backwards really. The other knight can hardly move at all. It could, you know, at this point now it can't really move itself. So yeah, John's bishops are just more active right now. Kyle's knights not doing too much. Yeah, he's got to be careful. John now also threatening, you know, the queen's down there, the rook's lined up. Could be some threats coming down. Kyle brings his rook over though to kind of preempt that. I think it's an okay move. Got to be careful though.
That queen is deep in Kyle's territory here.
But yeah, as you can see, kind of Kyle looks and kind of is bunched up. His pieces are more restricted at this moment. John controlling a lot of the board. I imagine though, if John presents trades, Kyle might still take them though. So we'll see.
I guess there's a rook trade. Well, no, because Kyle could trade. I don't see him doing that.
Yeah, I think John's probably. No, I think maybe John will move his bishop and interpose it and just kind of block the rook as it is, because after that, I don't see a lot of great moves for Kyle. John could just castle too. Then if Kyle takes, John could take back with his rook and maintain pressure on the c-file. So, I think John's got several decent options right now. I think he's probably just trying to decide amongst those.
The computer showing heavy favor for John.
Yeah, even though Kyle's only up, as far as the actual pieces, there's only a 1 pawn difference. I'd say that the position also favors John quite a bit right now.
Yeah.
All right, John's still on the clock. Looks like one of his longer considerations for a move.
No. I hate that.
Kyle did not like that move.
John does? Okay.
I did incite
John does
this.
take.
I did create that problem for myself. Like, that was inevitable. It's okay.
So yeah, that was a 1-for-1 rook trade.
Yeah. John does castle now. I think Kyle really needs to take the opportunity to probably get that knight out. D2. Put some pressure on the queen. It's supported by the other knight in that spot, and it's kind of just useless right now. John's still probably looking, bringing the other rook over again, back to that file. Yeah, Kyle does move the move the knight. I think that's the right move. I expect maybe. I guess John could try queen. Rook c8. That would offer a queen trade. No, actually, that's that. No, that wouldn't be good for John.
Yeah, he'd end up a rook down, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'd probably have to move the queen here, but
probably have to move that queen. Yeah,
I think he's gonna retreat a little bit, and he'll still be able to take the c file back over. I think, which is really, I think whoever's able to control that might have the advantage here.
Oh, you devil. Is that a Kelsey?
All right, John again taking his time. I think. Yeah.
I think John knows this could swing. With one false move here, Kyle will pounce. So you got to consider this one careful.
Yeah, I think that like I was saying earlier, that last game, I think that the move John made immediately before Kyle was able to kind of force a mating position was made a little bit in haste. So I think John really probably trying to focus now and make sure he doesn't rush through his moves, because doesn't want a repeat of that for sure. All right, Kyle got about a 5-minute advantage on the clock though at this point. I'll play a little bit faster.
This could become a factor, yeah.
And we see Kyle again attack the queen.
Now here's where Bishop might offer that trade, the queen trade, if he brings his rook over. Nope.
No, he does offer a trade, but
different way. Yeah, if he had moved that rook over to the C file and done that trade, he could have gotten a back row mate, no?
Possibly.
If Kyle had
Kyle,
fallen for that. He wouldn't fall for that.
yeah.
Come on. That's something I would fall for.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how the moves played out, Kyle might have been able to move a knight in the way. Hard to say.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if they play it slightly different orders of moves, maybe the knight's not there. But
Yeah.
you got to be careful in these positions for that back rook knight. And there, Kyle. Yep, Kyle continues to trade when offered. I don't think he's rejected a single trade so far. John now a pawn up, 2 bishops. He's attacking Kyle's A pawn right now, so Kyle will see if he defends that one. Again, his knights aren't doing the greatest right now, not too effective. See if Kyle can work some magic.
I'm getting a little bit of inspiration from the Emerald City IPA.
And Kyle protects the pawn.
That's one thing I've learned as a newbie. Those pawns, they really do matter. Game.
Oh yes, especially as you get close to the end game like this is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, John's already got an advantage now on that queen side. It's basically, you see over there, it's like 2 pawns against 1. And he's got way more power to back him up at the moment with those bishops.
Yeah.
And these poor knights, just there's languishing.
Yeah, they just can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's probably going to take them multiple moves to get into a position where they can do anything. In the meantime, John will just start attacking.
Yeah, those bishops can cover a lot of ground real quick.
All right. John on the clock here. Getting close. 20 minutes left. All right, so John trying to decide. I think he's got different options here. My guess is he's trying to figure out a way he can start pushing those pawns on the queen side, because that's where his biggest advantage is right now. Can't really do too much with this light squared bishop. He could pull it back and protect the rook and offer another trade. So instead, maybe we'll see, a pawn push if he doesn't do that.
Yeah, this is I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is the point in the game where I'm really watching the higher level players.
Well,
I'm
now
not
I
even
kind
gonna
of don't have
try
a
to
choice.
guess
So.
You do have choices. You always have choices. There are always choices.
This choice is easy.
Kyle Insta trading continues. Okay, we got knights versus bishops now. John attacks that A pawn. And Kyle continues to march it up. See if he uses the.
If it's the last thing I ever do.
Singing to relieve the tension, that always helps.
Kyle defends his pawn. I think maybe John's gonna perhaps attack the knight. At which point maybe we'll see Kyle defend with the other knight, perhaps get some more trades. I think John might still come out with the advantage if that happens. Yep. I think a knight c5 might be a viable option here too.
Yeah, that puts his knight in a nicer position.
Yeah, threatens the bishop, also threatens John's pawn. Kyle's pawn is undefended now, but John can't take this move because he needs to address the threat to his bishop. So see if he pulls back, defends. Kyle's still moving pretty quick. I got, I'm still about a 5-minute difference on the clocks here.
Computer still heavily favoring John on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John definitely with the advantage. I think he's Kyle. I like the play so far though. Like in this position, it's probably going to take John a while. He's going to have to do, I think, a little bit of maneuvering to make sure he, protects his pieces adequately.
Yeah, Wyatt's in the chat. He liked that c5 move. So, okay, I feel a little better about that. That's every now and then I'm like, that's what I would have done. Okay.
John repping the Minnesota Wild tonight. I didn't know he was a Wild fan.
Yeah, did they just play the Kraken earlier?
Yeah, there was a home game, a Kraken home game.
If you want to draw it, I am down at any point. I'm happy to.
I'm sure you are.
I'm just happy. I mean, it's unrated. I'm happy to move the thing along.
There we go, John. Defends that pawn. Wonder if Kyle just goes back and immediately into the position we just came from.
Is Kyle proposing a draw? John was considering a draw. No, John, no.
If the players want to draw, that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle does go back.
I think that was pretty much all he could do there. Yeah, his knights are just sort of circle around for a little bit until like mosquitoes waiting for a chance to bite, but this might not happen.
Yeah, I think now John, if I was in John's position, probably bishop c3. You maintain the attack on the A pawn, but now you introduce, another attack on that D pawn, that backwards D pawn. Kyle, that kind of freezes the other knight where it is. It's going to be stuck defending it. Well, no. I guess the knight defends both. But, he goes back. Maybe we'll have a draw. We'll see. Kyle. Same move.
I do the same.
John. Oh, wow. Is John... Is John
did you do it in the...
Is John going to do the 3-move repetition?
Oh, no. So Wyatt's saying bishop e7 and e8 followed by on push to b6.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, realistically, I think John has to kind of switch and focus on the king side. Kyle, I don't think he can get to defend everything at once. Right now, he's only got a singular kind of point of attack. So, but maybe, these end games can be quite taxing. To try and figure everything out. So, but okay.
I almost did the thing. You thought? I almost did it. Yeah, it's funny.
He only moves the bishop one spot this time, not a repetition.
Avoids the draw by repetition.
Kyle now swings his other knight over.
As Van points out in the chat, that pawn structure that John has is just formidable. It's like hard to get in there.
Yeah.
Every time that knight gets in there, he pushes him out.
Yeah, it can be tough. John, I think he knows he has an advantage. But it's, these end games, especially, when the queens or rooks are off the board, figuring out a way to convert that is not easy. It looks like he's moving his king up, and it looks like he is maybe going to start swinging that attack over to the king side. Oh, Kyle responds. F-pawn push.
Kyle regaining a little bit of edge in the computer's opinion.
Yeah, John. See what he decides. This could be, John taking a little longer in his moves. We're getting past the halfway point of on the clocks. Kyle, if this does keep going, in more of a drawn out game, clock could come into play. Yeah, and if you are joining the stream, Three Magnets Brewing, Olympia, Washington, live chess. This is the Olympia Blunders Chess League. Week 6. This is the top division you're watching right now. Got one more game after this one as well. And, yeah. Close game. Oh, the draw! They decided on a draw. Wow.
They go for the draw.
John. Ooh. That was...
Wow, it was getting spicy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now they're trading some notes here.
Yeah, like I said, not easy. I think, John to take advantage, it was probably going to be a little bit of a grind, and John and I played a kind of a similar game, the other day, where ended up in a draw. It's hard to play out, and getting to the point in the standings, getting close to the end of the season, it might be more about just solidifying your spot rather than trying to make a push one spot up the standings or something. So.
Right. Yeah. There is some long-term considerations here. Yeah. So that'll bring Kyle up to 16 and John up to 21. Not major move.
Yeah.
In the standings.
But yeah, that was a definitely fun game to watch. Kyle's insistence on trading immediately, I guess, kind of worked out. I mean, that kind of play seems like you're kind of going for a draw a little bit. either a draw or hoping your opponent messes up. So
that's wishful thinking against John, but hey, he managed to pull out the draw. So
we'll see if I don't know if our producers were expecting this outcome. Might be a second before we can get our interview set up.
Yeah, I think Kyle's ready for the post-match interview.
Yeah, I have a feeling John may be reviewing the match, maybe seeing he had perhaps a little bit more advantage than he thought.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought I read somewhere you can't checkmate with 2 knights. Is that
not without
1 king?
You can't force it. Yeah.
Yo.
If it's just 2 knights and 2 kings. Yeah, I can't force it. Kyle, can you hear us?
I can. Happy birthday, Funk.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
What microphone? This? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear him.
I'm looking at the review right now. Apparently,
this is, I believe, our second draw on stream this season. You played kind of a style. I don't think you didn't take a trade that wasn't in front of you. Was that the intended style? Kind of like whittle the even trades down to a spot where it would get to an end game.
yeah. So like the idea is, I have the one opening that I've been working on right now, which is the Italian, and so like when that kind of starts to very obviously go to shit, because John is good at chess and knows what this is. If I just start taking these trades, I can prevent disaster and maybe even facilitate like a draw. Mm-hmm. I'm not playing for the win against this guy,
Okay, so a draw wasn't like kind of playing for the draw. If he messes up, maybe take advantage, and then otherwise just like let it play out that way.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also just, I think, generally better to simplify. And in that position specifically, when you've got your knights like defending each other, like they do that in ways that bishops can't. And so I thought that I had a pretty good shot at, like, the left side of the board was like locked down. And so from there, like, we just talked, and it was like, okay, then we're just going to start pushing pawns and moving kings, and do you even want to play that? It ended up boring.
Yeah, we were talking about that on stream. That kind of play can be pretty taxing, and it's very precise. And if you don't make the right moves, you can definitely mess it up. I think we got Doug here. Doug, questions for our 1 point earner.
1 point winner. Everybody's a 1 point winner. Yeah, Kyle. So you came in saying you're kind of aimed. John, did the season standings or anything have anything to do with that?
No, I don't care about that. I just enjoy it. Like, John and I have good games, and I enjoy playing him in person, especially because I don't know, there's something interesting about the way that people that are good at something are thoughtful about it. And so I just like watching like what he does and then trying to craft some fucking response, But John's in the driver's seat.
I mean, this is a PG stream.
Oh, sorry, kids. Sorry, John's daughter.
Yeah, that was inadvertent. No worries. So yeah, I feel like, I guess, congratulations. It played out. You got what you were going for. So well
like
to watch.
Ashley,
it's definitely fun to watch.
Can we talk about real quick? Like Ashley said that the computer was 95% John the whole time.
Pretty much.
I think after you did the second bishop for knight trade, like I think at that point his position was a little bit stronger, and then when you got the pawn, I think you definitely I think you definitely evened it out. It would have been, I think, John, the computer had the advantage for John, but as we were discussing, it would have been pretty grueling to play that out, precise play. So I can see the draw there. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you do John. Thanks for commentating, everybody. Have a good night.
Yeah. GG, Kyle.
See you Saturday.
Oh yeah, I'll see you Saturday. Go Sounders.
Sounders.
Yeah. We love our Sounders around here.
Right.
And we're getting John over here. There he is.
Hi there.
The other drawee of the night, John.
Yeah, I did not get my murder. I was counting on murder, and there were people. Both players lived. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were. So this is, back half of the season. Most of these games now are rematches. Kyle, perhaps on stream, infamously got the sneaky little comeback mate against you. Was that? Did you feel like you were playing a little more for retribution in this match, or was it just kind of any other game for you?
I would have liked some retribution. Yeah, that would have been cool if Kyle hung a queen or one. But Kyle's careful. I think he was playing no blunders, just like I was playing no blunders in this game, and being very careful about it. I debated a while whether to even play the French defense against Kyle, because he likes the Italian game, and I can play Italian game with black pieces. That's fine. But I rolled out the French defense anyway, thinking I would just get him into my game. But it became kind of a little bit too close to drawish, even though the engine really loved my position with the two bishops.
Yeah, it was. It seemed like kind of as soon as you started those repetitions, it seemed like the draw was on Kyle. Well, I mean, Kyle was going for the draw, but it seemed like that's when you started considering it the most. Was that kind of the case, or?
Yeah, well, I was like 6 to 8 minutes behind Kyle in terms of time. So when it comes to these 30-minute games, I got to come up with a checkmate in 14 minutes, and that was going to take some work there, even with the bishop pair. I had some things. I was going to start to win another pawn probably and start to push maybe, but I don't know. I couldn't see the seam.
Yeah. Doug, any questions for our other point winner, John?
Yeah, the other 1 point winner, John. It was fun watching. Yeah, you kind of answered the question I was going to ask, but I was thinking about. I know how you like your bishops, as your name implies, and there you were with two bishops, but still felt like the draw was the good choice. Yeah, tell me about your thinking there a little bit.
Yeah, the two bishops are usually perfect. They're a little stronger, I think, when there's more pieces on the board. And when you're not playing the French defense, because the French defense pawns do get in the way of the light squared bishop. But in the end game there, I think I could, if I was a little more creative, I could have found a seam and started picking off some more pawns and stuff. Yeah, created a pawn break or something. Oh, Kyle is
feeling the bishop's good enough, and focaccia.
Yeah, Kyle
we got our focaccia. Kyle, the resident focaccia baker in the chess league.
Yeah, I declined a piece of focaccia right now because I'm a little full because I had some akashic before. But yeah.
Oh, that's the food truck out front of Three Magnus Brewing. Everybody should go there.
Everybody should go there. Yeah. What did you have?
I had the Bombay roll, the Kati roll.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice with paneer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. So sorry I gave you kind of a boring game there. I mean, there wasn't too many fireworks going on.
Those games are great. I had a fun time watching it, especially kind of once you got a beat on what Kyle was trying to do and see how you respond. That's pretty fun stuff to watch. So cool. Well, thanks again, John. Good luck the rest of the way. Couple more weeks before the playoffs. So keep up the strong play.
All right, thanks. Take care.
All right.
All right, I'm going to sign off, and Wyatt's going to pick up.
Yeah, I think, Doug, thank you. I think you're hopping off, and we're going to take a break, and we'll have the last game of the night after that.
All right.
All right. Stay tuned, everybody.
Got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no fame, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. One more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, freed from desire, mind and senses purify it, freed from desire, mind and senses purify it, freed from desire, mind and senses purify it, freed from desire. Na, 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 na. beliefs. My lover's got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no fame, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. One more and more people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, more and more people just want more and more freedom and love. What he's looking for, freed from desire. Mind and senses purify it, freed from desire. Mind and senses purify it, freed from desire. Mind and senses purify it, freed from desire. Na 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 na.
waiting for the call. Will it ever come at all? Hours wasted spent scrolling back through my phone. Tired of waiting for your call. Is it all over? No more forever. Have all the ashes come and gone? My mind is racing through all the memories. Is that all they are now? It's been so long. So thanks to you, my friend. Tell me, is this the end? Have I got nothing left tonight to show? Tonight to show. Waiting all my life. Maybe now's the time to try. For too long I stood back, hiding deep down inside. Maybe now's my time to shine. Is it all over? No more forever. Have all the ashes come and gone? My mind is racing through all the memories. Is that all they are now? It's been so long. So thanks to you, my friend. Tell me, is this the end? Have I got nothing left tonight to show? Tonight to show. Waiting for the call. Will it ever come out? I've been waiting for the call. Will it ever come at all? I'm dreaming you and I. All my darkest fears are coming outside. We got a billion races, we got this melody. And you can trust me, baby, we got everything. Call me whenever you feel alone, babe. And when you need to cry, I'll be by your side. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. And when you need to escape from 1,000 fires, I'm gonna kiss you wherever you are. And I'm gonna miss you, I will never lie. Call me whenever you need someone, babe. We're running in the jungle of love.
Hello. We are back for final game of the night. Olympia Blenders Chess League coming live, 3 Magnus Brewing, Olympia, Washington. We got Wyatt joining us for this last game. And we're going straight into the entrance videos. Ben, wow, just bringing the board.
I love it.
Apparently he just carries a board around, probably just plays chess all the time, I'm guessing. Good balance there, too. That is not easy.
I would have tripped and the pieces would have been everywhere.
And got our other player, Katie, striding in confidently through the bar, coming to the back room to get ready for some chess. All right, this is a Division 2 matchup. Got the standings up there. Ben in 4th place, but pretty close to the 2 players tied for 2nd. And Katie there too, but like I said, these we're getting close to the playoffs, and there is going to be kind of a little bit of a promotion relegation going on between divisions, depending on who you finish at going into the playoff bracket. So where you finish is still very important in these games.
Absolutely. Not to mention, it's always a good thing to win. Never feels bad.
Yeah, and as we've been saying, back half of the season, that means we're getting rematches. Pretty much all these games are rematches. Ben winning the first matchup, playing as the black pieces, the first time these two played. So we'll see if Katie's looking for some revenge, maybe.
Already we see a decision here to not push the pawn and attack the knight, but instead just quietly develop the e-pawn.
Mm-hmm. Have you watched many of Katie or Ben's games so far, Wyatt?
I've seen a few of Ben's. I think I may have even played Ben once. I'm not entirely sure about that, but the chess.com username is familiar to me, so I know I've at least looked at some of the games.
Yeah, Ben, a little transliteration of Bebop, I believe, is his chess.com name.
Quite the I'm not. I don't remember too much about the way it was played out. One of the problems is though is that I do feel like some of those games that I played at the beginning, I did not get the super good opportunity to read into the skill level of some of these players. So
yeah, we're getting a lot of games that kind of feel mirrored tonight.
Excellent.
No, it is, and it actually is perfectly mirrored at the moment.
I love playing mirror chess. Mirror chess is one of my favorite things to do as black, but if you do it for too long, it can get you into a really bad spot.
Yeah, I think that's like the theme of the night. It felt like, first game, a little bit of a mirror to start the Kyle's game before all the trading happened, but.
And this is about the spot where you don't want to be here, because if you play your black square bishop out to pin the other knight, now it's going to get real interesting if ends up taking, end up doubling up those pawns. It's not inherently bad, but I would not suggest it. I think I would take the knight here with the bishop, as much as I do love my bishops, and double up the pawns.
And we get to move to the middle. Let's see if there's a knight e4 in kind, perhaps.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yep.
Both just choose to castle.
All right, bloodbath.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's go. Poor guys.
Ben perhaps eager to trade. We'll see.
We'll see what pieces fall first. If I am black here, I'm taking the knight on e5, I think.
Huh? Our symmetry continues anew.
I think that should be the last one, because you should see some kind of take here with the knight onto c6, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's best to take with the bishop.
I'm gonna get lost. Gotta get lost with the fanciness.
I relate to that comment that Ben just said, because if this position gets any more wild than this, then it's going to get significantly hard to calculate very quickly.
Yeah, something's got to break soon. Oh, it takes with a knight.
Let's try that out.
Capture at last.
See what happens.
Yeah, I see that.
Black will drop on here, but they will get it for an exchange a little bit in some development, because they're going to be able to immediately develop that rook onto the B file. Potentially just do the exact same thing to white.
Yeah, might see See if there's a queen trade after that. Oh, brings out the queen.
Breaking symmetry.
Love it. A little scary though. A little bit scary.
Now that knight can jump out and take the bishop on b4, be up 2 minor pieces.
Yeah. Believe that's the correct move.
Those moves can be a bit tough to see. It is a backwards move. And whenever your opponent brings out something like that, it's always good to be a little bit wary of what's going on. Sometimes you end up falling for a trap.
So Ben takes the knight, threatening the queen here. I think that's viable too, because I think he knows he can still. Oh, that's a good take, because now at least Katie can get back a little bit of compensation and take the white bishop here. Ben, I believe, still going to be up a minor piece after this exchange, though.
Yeah, the knight does have very few squares to go to afterwards. You're just going to have to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not inherently in a horrible spot, but I could see a world where that knight gets shoved around for a while if you're not careful about what pieces you use to defend it, and it might become a pretty dead knight for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben's dark square bishop too is a little. Oh, okay, she doesn't take the bishop, but pushes the e pawn.
And that can be tough. Like sometimes those X-ray attacks that end up happening after pieces move can be tough to see.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Take was not there, then it is.
Although I think maybe Katie looking at see if she can sneak bishop h3 perhaps.
Ooh,
why wouldn't I?
Yes, no, that does make a lot of sense. Get a bishop h3, win the rook.
Yeah, if Ben's not careful, could open himself up to some threats.
Oh, that can't be it.
Let's see what happens here.
All right.
Choose to push the pawn, which I think is the correct move.
We had a board move and then a different app move, so we've adjusted the board in real life.
Oh, okay. Yep, for these live games, the move that you make on the app is the one that counts, even though we're having this live board here. We do have to kind of officially keep track of these games somehow, so the app is the official thing. And if there's a discrepancy on the board, then we will make it match the app. And there's the G-pawn push. Katie probably going to take this rook here.
I do like this rook take. I think white might still be in a pretty good position here if they find the backwards bishop take and then try to move their bishop onto h2, hitting that pawn on e4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think even in this position now that the D pawn's been pushed, like I think I'd be fine just with a queen take as well. I don't think Katie's got a ton of threats on that bishop, but yeah, either way, bishop for rook. I think a lot of times you think on the balance it favors Katie, but Ben's still going to be, I think, in a better overall position probably after this.
Yeah, those early minor pieces really hurt.
But Katie,
the nice thing is if you're black is that, you know, after maybe a pawn push on with your backed by your rook to d5, you might be able to take control of the game a little bit here, just putting some serious pressure on the king side.
Yeah, I was going to say that kind of the advantage that seems Katie might be able to kind of use her rooks a little bit sooner. Well, Ben probably will only have one rook soon, probably. But yeah, I think Katie, if she can get their rooks kind of to the middle, she might be able to assert a little more control. Ben probably going to take a little bit longer to develop, especially with that dark squared bishop kind of immobilized more or less at the moment.
Yeah, if I'm black, I don't think I'm going to let them think about doing that kind of a thing. I think I'm just going to shove a pawn directly onto a5, hitting that knight, make the knight move. And there's not like that many squares for the knight to move to that's any good.
Yeah, that is a good point. She does move over to d8 though.
I think would have been an excellent follow-up move to the a5, but that it does put pressure on that pawn in the center of the board.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny move. I think you almost don't. It's kind of hard to see that a5 push where, you know, you see a knight more or less in the middle of the board, and it almost, yeah, you're right. It basically doesn't really have anywhere to go right now if it's attacked.
Yeah, we see a really aggressive move on the king side here.
Yeah, and we do have an en passant opportunity. We do love our en passants in the Olympia Blunders Chess League. It's a little bit of mystique around them.
And we get an en passant rejected, sadly.
Wasn't to be. Okay, we got Katie on the clock. Players moving reasonably quickly so far.
Queen trade offered. I don't think if you're black, you can afford to take this, sadly. I think you have to come up with something else.
What do you think of black doing queen f3, still offering the trade, but then you take back with the pawn, getting this passed pawn that you can possibly protect with the e-pawn? Maybe that's where you could focus your attack? Think it's worth it?
It might be worth a try. I don't think that it works at all, but it might be the only good try in the position potentially.
And just moves over to the H file. All right, and so Ben takes the e-pawn. Starting to open up a little bit now.
Yeah, I might even just follow this up with a straight up F5. Solidifying my center, allowing some of those pawns to push forward. It's probably not good, but there's not much in the position that I can see. And then if he happens to take this, you can open that rook up, and if the queen ever moves, then you might have something if you your opponent's not careful.
I think we are going to... This might be a nearly live shot of the pub. Might be cutting to that. Working on our AV setup here, folks. We're gonna get you some live chess pub action from Premier Cascadian Chess Bar, 3 Magnus Brewing here. in the meantime, continue to enjoy this chess.
Yeah, some of these shots that we're getting from the bar here are quite enthusiastic. I think that they should be setting up this exact position on the chessboard and analyzing it. And I think that would be a quite great thing to do.
Was that a? I don't know if we got the full audio in the commentary booth. I believe that was a chess chant, perhaps. Here we go. The masses demand chess. They're bloodthirsty up there. They need it. Okay, we got so Ben pushing his pawns up the board. Katie did find that F5 move you were talking about, though. Ben in turn getting a en passant opportunity of his own, second en passant rejected.
Yeah, it's disrespecting the en passant lore here in this match.
It's gonna be like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Aggression. That is the only way to speak when G5 comes on the board. It's just full aggression. G4 and G5 are. That's when you know your opponent is getting very aggressive. And I personally hate playing moves like that. That is not what I enjoy.
You gotta live on the edge sometimes, though, you know?
Sometimes it is the right move. I think we've seen that a few times throughout this season, where sometimes just getting aggressive and ignoring your king is just the way to win the game.
Okay, so we get the king check here. I'm assuming Katie, she moves up. There we go. As you can see, that is the scene from the front bar. Three Magnus Brewing. Picking sides apparently up front there. Okay, so let's see. Ben, we'll see if. Okay, so he pushed his B pawn. Maybe looking to get the dark squared bishop into play, perhaps. Maybe be able to move the rook over. Katie, I can maybe only presume will continue to push these kingside pawns.
We get a take on the D6, which I like. You gotta be a little bit careful of a pawn push to E6, and that is a great find.
Mm-hmm. And Ben not making it easy.
I don't know.
That
I love it though.
That long diagonal now opened up for that dark squared bishop as well. Katie needs to be aware of that.
She's so happy.
So the pub is on about a 45-second delay, and we keep hearing reactions back here, just like yelling from the front.
Live chess, people. It gets rowdy. It gets very rowdy.
E8 is played. I do like that move.
Yep, there is the check.
And you almost have to go king H6 here You got to be wary about this queen that's currently sitting on E2, potentially pairing up with that dark squared bishop and really putting you in a world of hurt.
Okay, so king moves up. Probably if I'm Ben, I want to start swing that rook over, get it into play, probably. The black king is pretty exposed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think D1 really threaten that pawn. If you can get the rook down there, you get discover check options possibly. Yeah, that does not look fun for black if the rook swings over.
Yeah, the hard part is I don't really see a lot of other moves that look even viable. Maybe bishop to B5 hitting the rook, but
yeah.
Outside of that, I don't really see much in the position that White could even really consider playing, which sometimes is really unfortunate because when you get in positions where your opponent is almost forced to make the right moves, then you know you're in deep trouble. But we'll see.
Yeah, rook D1. I like it.
I like the amount of time that you take there. Like I've said this a couple times, but I'm a huge advocate for taking some time. Especially if you think a position is winning, just take some time, try to calculate out, figure out why it's winning, and then play on from there.
Yeah, I think you get in positions like these too, and I don't think there is kind of a crazy brilliant move, but sometimes boards have a look, and sometimes it feels like sometimes you can find a sacrifice. These kind of like late mid-game positions, a lot of times they have those kinds of things. So sometimes it's just worth looking at the moves that you would just initially consider really strange or like sacrifices, and sometimes there are ones that pop out, and a great time to find them.
Yeah, is just completely ignored in full-on aggression again from black, which, to be fair, I think might actually be the only way black could get out of this potentially. So,
yeah, I don't
really disagree.
I don't think there was too many other options. I think the only real defense there is, I think you lose the pawn anyway, but maybe you could move the rook to E7 to kind of prematurely prevent the advance of that pawn. Even then, White's going to have good follow-up. So yeah, I think Katie does need to kind of focus on attacking when she can.
Yeah, if you're not careful, pawn push and let that pawn get to F3, then the game becomes a little bit more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he pushes. Okay. Oh yeah, these are really fun positions to look at. There's a lot going on both sides. Takes the pawn there. The rook takes back with check.
Now you're gonna have to sack your rook here for one of the bishops, I think. But even that doesn't work because the rook is targeting it. This might just be GG.
I think what happens here is you probably have to sack the rook and the queen, or basically sack a queen for a bishop, I think is what it ends up turning out on that E6 square. I don't know if trying to escape this way is going to work.
I do think that might have been the best move, though, because on just first glance, there's not a move that immediately ends it.
I'm not sure. So you have so many bishops on me.
Yeah, I'm not finding an immediate killing blow. You might have to sack some material back here, which can sometimes be kind of hard to do.
Yeah. Computer does show a mate in 14, but that is quite a ways off.
And I don't think that we are going to see that, and nor do I want to play anybody that can find that.
I don't know. I feel like for some reason, I feel like the check with G4 check, like do the queen trade, like force the queen trade. The king has to pull forward in front of the pawn, and I feel like you can start to swing your bishops over, and the king is going to have a hard time escaping that. But that's just my gut feeling. I'm not sure if that totally works.
I think it does, as long as you follow it up with bishop e6.
Yeah.
If you don't follow it up with bishop e6, I think it could actually get a little bit dangerous, just because you could end up in a scenario where that file opens up for the black rook. But we do have a move on the board, and it is knight to d5.
All right, so we have rook shifts over.
And it sounds like there was another match going on on the other side of the bar, and it sounds like Kelsey got failed out by a stalemate once again, staying undefeated.
Wow. Kelsey, nobody can beat Kelsey. Got some draws, but no wins yet.
Now we're in an interesting position in this game. I almost just like the idea of trading everything down here. If it's sometimes it can be really hard to find a move, but even if you were to trade down, say by making a move to rook f6 and just start trading pieces down, I don't inherently think that that's necessarily bad.
Yeah, apparently there was a mate and 2 on the board, but the G-pawn push was not it. I'm not even.
Mate and 2 on the board.
Yeah. There must be something really clever there, because I do not see that. But we're gonna trade the queens. Now we got the checks coming in on the king here.
And I love a pawn push to f3. That is played. And if white's not careful, this could end up turning against them very quickly here with this pawn now being a fast pawn right in front of the king. If you don't play this correct, it could get pretty nasty.
Katie's king's still very exposed though, so she's also got to be careful.
Yeah, I almost like getting onto playing something like B4 here, but then you have to check, so maybe you have to go back to B5.
Would have been scary.
But then you also have a check. I actually don't think either one of these work. I think that B3 might be the only move that actually somewhat works, but then you still have a check on there and have to go back. This open king is really making Black's life really hard, because that pawn gets pinned by that bishop, and then you're not able to push that passed pawn, the F file.
Yeah, we gotta see. There's a H3 check here, possibly. There's no mate there, but
I'm not. I can't.
that king can continue to get hassled.
Exactly.
I almost like just a simple check with the knight on F6. Instead, targets the rook. And even though it doesn't work, I'd be very tempted to play something like rook to D8 here.
Oh, he does.
I think that's a pretty good move, as long as it requires your opponent to find this knight check, I think.
Oh, there is the knight check.
Not work anymore.
Yeah, back to almost an even position. Oh no, but yeah, I think the take had to happen there, right?
Yes, I think you have to take and then take the bishop with check.
Yep.
So then you might have a pawn push up the board. It's tough to spot. And as much as the computer says white's winning here, I still think that this is very much a two-sided game if white is not careful.
Yeah, this is still a pretty tricky position.
I think I may just even play something like a rook takes h7 looking to trade down here. It doesn't work, but maybe you pick up both the pawns and then you can push your own pawns. You're not. Oh, your bishop's still under fire, though. This is actually a very hard position.
Yeah.
Maybe even just a sack of the bishop onto f3. I think the more I look at it, the more I like to just take the pawn on f3, force the other to take, and then move your king up and.
Yeah, that might be the best way to get out of it.
Yeah, that's
you're gonna lose that bishop anyways. I don't really see a way out for it, so you might as well desperado it into it and
This can go absolutely anywhere.
play forward. In fact, that might be the only move that doesn't put you in a really bad spot. Or at bare minimum, draw might turn into a draw. Maybe there might be something that's you could defend with eventually, but I don't see it immediately.
Yeah, Katie though has come back quite a bit from. Well, I guess apparently there was a mate in two.
Yes, I'm sure it was simple, and we were both gonna slam our heads against the wall in disbelief of not being able to see it, but. That is chess sometimes.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're okay if you just go say like a knight takes h7. And then
I was looking at that, so
be taken.
Yeah, knight takes h7. Rook takes. That knight still does not have many places to go, and then the rook feels like it's kind of stuck defending it.
All of it sucks. It's really, really good job, Katie. I don't know what to do about that. Oh,
Yeah, and I don't really blame the players for not knowing what to do because this is a mess.
It is.
Ooh, maybe knight to h5 at some point might be decent after you sack knight to h5 and. I think you have to sack on f3 and then play maybe knight h5. That might work. And we get the takes, and now we're back to a draw.
Yeah, computer has that as a draw, but seems pretty decent for. I mean, considering for white.
And now the problem becomes I don't. Ooh.
Ooh. Computer not liking the rook move.
That allows rook to f6 check. Which is evidently just horrible.
I think maybe it was just the knight g3 check. It was, I feel like maybe what it wanted.
Yeah, probably, because then you could follow up with potentially like moving your bishop back to b2, I guess. Secluding off the king. That's probably correct. And now your knight's under. Oh, and now your knight has nowhere to go except for you to defend it, and then you're gonna. Oh, but the bishop guards still. But you still end up losing all those pawns. Yeah.
Yeah, because now Ben's got to be careful of this. You know, the rook that d7 rook moving down to d2. There are definitely mate threats if not careful. And I'm guessing Ben might have to sacrifice one of the minor pieces just to prevent mate.
Yeah, I think you do have to sack the knight here, actually. I think you have to just let him take the knight and move bishop to the b4.
Yeah, either defend with the bishop, I mean, maybe knight g3 might work because you can use it to interpose. Yeah, no, that just delays it though because the pawn's still there. So
just take with the rook, and it's the same difference.
Yeah, I think
crazy comeback from black here. This has been a crazy game. These positions has been absolutely amazing. Very hard to calculate and figure out what's going on.
Yep, and he does defend with the bishop, so he spotted that mate threat. That's which is real good.
Now we will see the capture of the knight, and you're just... The only thing you really have going for you if you're white is that you do have the pawn majority on the queen side, but...
Oh, she doesn't take the knight.
And now that knight can escape out to g3 and guard it from the rook falling down to h on the h file, and I think that you're actually okay here if you're white after knight g3.
Yeah, I think I like that knight g3 too. Black has now got to look at defending that e pawn.
Which is not the easiest thing to do without undoing your rooks.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back to an equal position. This game has been, I think, the most wild game I have seen this season.
I imagine just a frenzy at the front of Three Magnets right now with the swings in this game.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got threatening the C pawn here.
I think you have to push the C pawn twice.
Mm-hmm. Up to
way,
C4.
you end up losing or something, so... Or actually you don't, because the bishop guards still.
Yeah, but even you got to be careful though, because follow up with an a5 push, and bishop might have to move. Then also the bishop's doing duty defending that. If okay, so no, I guess it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think you had to push it to c4 here because now it's traps your bishop. Yeah.
So now that pawn's going to be open, the bishop's got to worry about kind of redoubling back and possibly defending again. If Katie reestablishes that mate thread.
Now it's a very hard position to play.
Yeah, I feel like here, like almost just, you might just have to give up the bishop and either take the b6 pawn with the rook or take that e pawn with the knight, and then maybe follow up with that c4 pawn push afterwards. You lose that bishop, you get a little bit of compensation, and then you might, have a little bit better ways to maneuver to protect that mate threat that was presented earlier if Kitty tries to reestablish. So we'll see.
I like that. And not to mention, at some point you might be able to sack this pawn on the h file and get the king not in check, which is what Ben plays now.
Quickly, yep. King, I think, forced to go to. Oh no, I guess either h4 or h5. No, it is only h4. Knight's protecting h5. So I think king. Oh no, take. Yeah, there you go. That's an option too.
I checked, but it doesn't do anything other than just eventually be able to target the rook on the d file.
Check again. Feels like Ben's scrambling a little bit for a way maybe to try and find to save his bishop, but I don't think there is. Little time check. Ben is also under 10 minutes now. Katie just about doubling the amount of time on her clock available. Okay, so Ben does take that e-pawn. And we are getting threats on the knight now. Katie definitely has the advantage now. Up a pawn, up a rook for a knight. Not the greatest pawn position on the queen side, but I think the clearly made up the deficit.
Yeah, and white chooses to take the f3 pawn, which has been a thorn in their side for quite some time.
Yeah. I think Katie probably going to take the c pawn, I would guess.
I would assume so. You already have the rook down there. You can queen pretty easily.
Yep, get that pass pawn again. One pass pawn finally eliminated. Another one's about to pop up, I'm guessing.
Very frustrating if you're Ben here.
Yep, and there is that. Yeah, not only I don't know. Is there a way to defend against this? Oh, we got okay.
Don't
Got the
believe
check. I think I need to do King E5 here to avoid the discover check. Oh, is there a different move? Did I miss something?
Do you just have knight check on G4 maybe?
Yeah, I think the advantage now is that you can do knight check on D4 or G4, and now you can swing the rook down to cover maybe.
No,
it still doesn't work.
Surely you can't go backwards. You can't go forward, so you have to go back, and then you have a knight check. I think this is a repetition, actually.
Oh, that was not it.
It does hit the rook, but sadly, it doesn't really matter. Like you could just say, "Take my rook, please." Well, actually, maybe you can't. Maybe you do have to move that rook. I think you do have to move that rook, because otherwise you end up with a rook check on E5, and I don't know where you go from there.
Yeah, moves a rook with check here. Finally, Katie, Retribution getting some checks on the king of her own.
Yeah, and now there's not a lot left in the position for white, I don't think. There's not really any checks left. You just kind of have to move your king over to either E3 or E2 probably, and after that, there's not anything left in the position, and black will simply queen.
And there's King E2.
Now you have to play the sad move of just swinging your rook over to C6 and gonna exchange the rook for that newly crowned queen.
Yeah, this is now a mate in 10, according to chess.com.
I think this mate is significantly more findable than the mate in 14 earlier. Maybe not so much from the mate in 2. I'll have to go back. Surely findable.
Yeah, that mate in 2. I feel like maybe it was like a knight takes pawn without check, and I might have been no way to escape a follow-up check made after that, but yeah, that was a fascinating position. Yep, there's the rook swinging over.
No, it's just a sad fate.
Brief reappearance of a queen here.
You just got to be a little bit careful with black, not to fall into any nasty knight forks.
Yeah.
But with 2 rooks versus 1 knight and a pawn and the equal number of pawns, it's going to be very hard to hold this.
Only thing to do.
Yeah, this is what I do.
Oh, I like it. Going for stalemate. This is what needs to happen. Just start liquidating everything.
Yep. This is it's become a little bit of a trend over the last few weeks. I think in a lot of these league games we've had a few stalemates where people intentionally, when they see that they've really have no hope of a win, sometimes they can, get their opponents, if they're not careful, get them in a stalemate position.
Oh, you're low on time too.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
Thanks for the heads up. Yeah.
I think I would just blitz out knight to F6 here. Just start blitzing my 2 pawns up the board.
Yeah.
Consolidating down. Let my opponent take it all. And the quick A4 here is appropriate.
Yeah, it looks like Ben might be trying a final shot at going up the board, maybe to that over the queen side, top of the queen side there. Maybe see if he can hide behind his pawns. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I would love to see just you push the pawns up the board here, maybe take that pawn on B6 and defend something with the knight, to where you knight's stuck behind a rook and can't move, and you eliminate all squares for your king, and you just end the game for your king sitting on A8.
Yeah, and I believe the players were also talking about it, but Ben down to under 4 minutes on his clock. Katie 14, 10 more. So I think Katie plenty of time to find a mate. Ben trying to hold on.
If I'm black here, I think I'm trying to eliminate that horse.
Katie's seeming pretty confident with these checks right now, though.
Yes, and you even have rook down to C8 here, which I think eliminates the horse.
Yeah, I think you could do rook C8, or I think you could go back over rook E7, right? I think that does the same thing.
I believe you are correct.
There you go. Got our producer showing four moves for the night, all of them currently covered.
Uh-oh. We see our first progression towards potential stalemate with rook to A1. Chooses to fork the rook and the pawn.
Ben's still fighting.
Now the knight is no longer dead as well. Something attractive. It is technically dead after a couple moves, but
yeah, I think. See if he takes the pawn here, maybe.
I don't really think about playing something like A4 here. Just maybe hopes I could swing my knight around, maybe get one of those rooks off the board. Maybe have my opponent place a rook in a bad spot for a knight fork.
Yep. Ben's still taking a little bit of time on these moves here, down to roughly 2.5 minutes. Yeah, just under 2.5.
We do have a 4 lead.
There goes the pea pawn.
If you're blocked here with both of those rooks there, realistically, there's no way for you to lose this. You could sack both of those rooks and then just take the pawn on the on the E and then march your pawns up the board.
Yep, now we have pawns fallen. Ben still fighting.
So a simple rook to A3 essentially ends the game.
There you go.
Yeah, now there's really no hope for white. You're going to lose that pawn, which is really your only hope in the position.
Yeah, I think probably just a knight move here.
No, that's not what I want to do.
Yes.
There we go.
Black is choosing to not liquidate here, which I don't love.
I'm playing it pretty safe, I think. I think right here, probably, yeah, just pin the knight. Then you, yeah, trade rook for the knight, and then, yeah. Oh, we still got Katie still maneuvering for around the king. Yeah, we're down to just about 50 seconds. Yeah, looks like 50 seconds for Ben. Just getting even harder here.
Yeah, and he's rapidly running out of moves.
Yep. Yep, now lining up. Sights on that knight. Ben, I think only hope now. Maybe a mistake stalemate.
Yes, I think that is about the only way it can happen, which it is possible if you play rook b3 here. I think that would work.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Wisely chooses to play a5 instead.
Yeah, I think Katie just setting up to do rolling check here. Yeah, I think she's got it now.
Yeah, I need to move towards the rooks there, and It's not happened. Now you're just going to get a nice ladder meet.
And 14 seconds left. Gonna end with a little bit of time on the clock, I think. About 10 seconds left. And that is it.
That was a lot of fun.
Checkmate. Wow.
Really
What
good.
a comeback. Just
Good.
went from down a lot.
I thought
Back and forth.
I thought
And
you were
just
dead.
claws
I thought you
back
were dead, too.
for the victory.
You clawed your way back.
I did.
Beautiful.
I did.
Yeah, the players are going to have a fun VOD review to do when it comes to the game. The review is going to be something else.
Oh, yeah. All right. I think we're going to get Ben on the headset here. A little interview.
Howdy. Who do we got?
We have Ben. That was, crazy game, I got to say. How do you feel after that? It was...
I really wanted to win.
Katie turned it around.
I really wanted to win. It was beautiful turnaround, as far as I could tell. That was a really fun game. I had a good time. Katie's a great opponent. Just the only part I didn't like was losing. I wanted to win real bad.
It's a bummer.
Yeah,
but,
it's good though.
We were talking these second half of the season here. We're getting a lot of rematches. You actually did beat Katie as Black the first time you met up, so a little bit of revenge, I think. There.
You can't. I can't say anything about that. I deserve it, I guess.
We have Wyatt here in the booth as well.
Howdy, Wyatt.
Wyatt, what did you think of the game?
I thought the game was absolutely fantastic. When you were up in the opening and got into position, it's like when you're up those pieces and then you get into position where the game can turn and it starts getting really mucky and hard to calculate. Do you feel like that you wish you would have used your clock a little bit differently, or
absolutely?
What was like where you think it went wrong?
Absolutely, I think it went wrong when I stopped being up pieces, but I can't tell you what positionally I did wrong. If I could, maybe I wouldn't have done it, I completely missed. It was just, I kept losing from attrition, just from the middle of the game. And I thought, it's just one piece. It's worth it. I'm going to get there.
I wanted to play the audio from the pub for Ben because he wasn't able to hear it while he was playing.
Oh, okay. Are you doing that right now?
1 second. Here, bang. Here we go. It would help if I pushed the right button.
Producer Smashley is on it.
Katie, you're gonna have to hear this. They got a recording of the cheering. That's really good. That's really good.
So Wyatt was saying, do you feel like the time pressure kind of led into kind of that flip, or was that just kind of a result of kind of it being ground out already at that point? Was that on your mind earlier in the game?
It was no, it wasn't. It wasn't too much. I was trying to take my time, look at my moves, and make the right move. But if I'd known they were the wrong move, I would have spent longer looking.
Something hindsight.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I've been learning a lot this season. I started out really not knowing that much about chess, so this is just going to put me up a little bit more once I go through the game review and figure out what I did.
No, I've been telling a lot of people in this league, go back and look at games from like before you started the league or early on, and like it's crazy how much like you can even see improvement in your own game. So yeah, it's it's just it's always improving as long as you're having fun. It's good stuff.
It was a good game. It was a lot of fun. Thank you both.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're gonna get Katie on too here.
All right.
All right. We are getting set up. It's all happening here, folks.
I'm gonna
End of the night, you know.
I'm gonna play that same, Katie. I'm gonna play that same clip for you before they start.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Here's a clip.
Oh, that was great.
Raucous crowd. Did you anticipate, these mobs of people for this chess game?
No, that was a surprise. They
So,
got into it.
So yeah, we mentioned to Ben, this was a little bit of revenge for you because I believe Ben prevailed in your earlier matchup this season. Was that a factor coming in? Did you review that old game? You just kind of it wasn't. It was what was it? So big turnaround. Through the I think he was up. It was kind of swinging back and forth for a while, and then you were up. Was there a moment you felt like, this is it? Like I got, or was it just kind of edge of your seat the whole time?
Yeah, once I realized I had 2 rooks on his minor pieces, I was like, okay, I think I got this. Okay, gonna keep on trying to push it forward. But before that, I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, it was. I mean, great game to watch. I think as a spectator. Wyatt's in the booth with me here. Wyatt, do you have some questions for Katie?
Yeah, Katie. After you lost a couple pieces out of the beginning, and then obviously thought your way back and made the position really muddy and hard to calculate, and absolutely took advantage of that and ended up winning the game. Was like when you were down. Once you got down early, was that like something that you really wanted to do? Is just I'm going to try to attack and try to push on there, or was that something that just ended up kind of happening as you played the moves?
So my early losses were total mistakes, total blunders, missed moves. But once I realized that I was down so much, so many pieces, I just decided, okay, let's be super aggressive, gum up the board as much as possible, see what happens.
Yeah, there you go. Wyatt was talking earlier in the game once you started pushing those kingside pawns. That was, that's exactly what we saw. So awesome to see it work out like that. That was, like I said, there's some really sticky positions there. Really fun to watch. So congratulations.
Yeah, that was a hoot and a half. Thanks, Ben. You played great.
Awesome. Cool. I think, that's, like I said, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you. We got a couple more weeks. Maybe we'll get you on stream again.
Yeah, I'll do my best. It's a blast to play on stream.
Awesome. There you go. Our final winner of the night, Katie, taking the dub in the Division 2 match. And I think we're going to wrap it up here. Like I said, 3 Magnus Brewing. Thanks as always. I'm Funk. We had Doug earlier on the horn. Wyatt, thanks as always for commentating. Producer Smashley. And thank you for watching. And chess, enjoy some chess. Thanks, everybody.